Well, hello. Welcome to my Outbreak presentation. I will first of all present you the game, what I did with it, and then I will present you some pieces of code that I'm a bit proud of, even though those are not some exceptional pieces of code, since they actually came from a project I made or the basic endless CPP runner. First of all, what I wanted to say is I basically did from M1 to M4, so we'll see when I launch the game. I have a character that can run, I have enemies, I have obstacles, and an endless generation of tiles. I also have weapons. I did two types of weapons because it wasn't that long to do, and I did that when creating the weapons. So we have an auto rifle and a pistol actually. So if we launch the game, up. So well, I did not take the sorry, I did not take the weapon. I'm just gonna play like that. So if I take the auto rifle, we can see that I have my enemies that are a bit dumb because they're just moving forward actually, and so the enemies are a bit dumb also because they don't have that much range because I actually wanted them to feel more like obstacles rather than real entities, since the game would have been really too hard in my opinion. So yeah, enemies are basically like well, they can damage you, but you have to really run into them if if you want to take damage. So we can actually die. That's a feature. Um, and I have the pistol, which is a bit buggy, and I didn't have the time to debug it because it sometimes shoots two bullets at the time, but it does 50 damage, and the basic enemy has 100 health, so it's a bit effective. So yeah, this is the pistol. The weapons works with recast. I did not use projectile in the end because that seemed a bit too overwhelming, and so yeah, it was for the weapon I wanted to make. Recast worked perfectly. Let's go far enough because I have a landscape, and now I'm just going to walk on the landscape. But yeah, I also don't have ammos, so yeah, I didn't do the pickup, so now I just don't have ammos and I can't shoot anymore. Yeah, sorry for that error. It's an error with the widget. So that's about it for the features. Now, if we go to the code, actually, so I wanted to talk about the enemies. So what the enemy is just a character that is controlled by an AI controller. That's basic, and it has an attack sphere and a range detection sphere. So the range detection sphere will trigger the chase state. So so basically, when I run into that sphere, the enemy will start to go towards me. And when I enter the attack range sphere, and that's what I wanted to show you, I'm going to start a timer that will damage me well, that is up to each enemy uh, to say its attack rate. But yeah, so that's just with timer, and I just clear the timer once you leave the sphere. I also used the damage method from Unreal because I didn't want to use casts. I hate doing casts in Unreal, and they seem so easy to do, but for me it's just a huge performance cost. So I really don't want to do that. So yeah, that's how enemies works. I use the apply damage. I use it for the player as well. Um, and now I also wanted to show you the tiles. So if I go to my tile, so the tiles are basically the same as I did in my endless runner CPP. So they have a lot of properties. I mean, really a lot, but they basically have an exit trigger, which the game mode subscribes to create another tile, and they also have a spawn zone to spawn all zombies and objects. And when the tile is being deleted, there are a lot of things to delete. There are all the spawn items that I keep in memory, but there are also all my zombies that are on this tile. So what I do is I have an enemy kill zone. So if I go see my tile, um, there, there, there. If I go see my tile, we can see that I have a huge zone, that is that one, that is the kill zone, and it will actually check all enemies inside that zone and delete them. So basically all enemies will be deleted once they are behind the player, because the enemies are going forward, so if they lose the player they are basically running infinitely. Yeah, so that was the two things that I wanted to show you. So I actually had the pickup item that I did not implement, but it was there. It was working in the endless CPP, uh, but I just didn't implemented it. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you. I'm going m- to to check everything inside the Google Sheets anyway. So thank you for listening, and I hope it wasn't too long. And